spoke through his people, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which is very sad. We believe in this country. We believe in Nigeria. I have told you what my name is, FAROUK Adamu Aliyu. I marched the street of Abuja, Lagos, and Enugu with a group called Save Nigeria to ensure that President Jonathan Goodluck takes over the mantle of leadership as acting president of this country. I also, Honorable FAROUK Adamu Aliyu, along with Barrister Sani Garingabas, I make bold and I'm proud to say that I am the only Nigerian that went to court and got judgment against the Executive Council of the Federation and the Attorney General of the Federation. The court headed by Justice Abutu, I have the copy of judgment here, I will give you copies. The court to enforce Section 144 of the Constitution, forcing the Executive Council of this Federation to make him president, acting president, when the late President Aliyu was ill, because we believe in this country. I don't know President Goodluck. We've never met. And I have no regret of doing so. Also, when the National Assembly invoked what was called doctrine of necessity, I went to court because I felt it was wrong. It was unconstitutional what they did. It was a political solution. We wanted to strengthen the constitution of this country. And I was prevailed upon by his people, what I mean people in government, that please withdraw this case because it is very, very dangerous. That if the court says what the National Assembly did was unconstitutional, there could be military takeover in this country. And for the love of democracy, I withdrew the case. All to ensure that we have one country. But recently, from that time, if you remember very well, in 2010, during the 50th anniversary of this country, a bomb was detonated at Eagle Square. Mr. President was quick to come and claim that his people, that's what he said, meant his people could not have been part of that thing. And now it's history. We know one of them is being tried and convicted in South Africa. And you also remember the same president on his campaign train went to Ibadan and called the Yoruba nation rascals, that part of the country cannot be left in the hands of rascals. We believe in this country. We want one Nigeria. And recently also through his spokespeople, they were threatening this country and the people of this country. Fire and brimstone if he is not re-elected. Thank God President Jonathan Goodluck did not come through military takeover. President Jonathan Goodluck got 419,000 votes from my state, Jigawa State. 419,220 to be precise. In my state, 100% Muslims, Fulanis. The combined candidates of General Muhammadu Buhari, Nuhu Ribadu, Shekarau, got less than 6,000 votes from that part of the country. And if you remember very well as well, President Jonathan Goodluck, we went to court to challenge the election. The justices at the Court of Appeal and those of the Supreme Court are not people from his part of the country, but they did what they feel was right. And today we have him as our president. But Mr. President is beating the drums of war from the villa. Mr. President is preaching genocide, hatred, racism, ethnic cleansing against certain people, certain part of the country. And if any Nigerian is hurt or killed, As of today, we are all Nigerians. And if Mr. President will be the person to divide this country, so be it. But we call on him to have a rethink and know that preaching of violence will not take us anywhere, because, I repeat, nobody has the monopoly of violence. Nobody. In this country, there are people who tie bombs around themselves and blew themselves. So Mr. President knows very well that there are people willing to do anything if he wants violence. And Mr. President spoke about corruption, specifically mentioned General Muhammad Buhari as most corrupt, rotten. I put it to President Jonathan Goodluck that we have a case with the police. It's there. 170 million naira that Dame Jonathan, his wife, when he was governor of Bayelsa State, a bank reported that that money was taken by Jane, a personal assistant to Mrs. Goodluck Jonathan, and that money is still with the police because he's president today, but we'll still go after that. And then President Jonathan Goodluck, if you remember very well, on a national television said that to hell with all of us Nigerians, that he was not going to declare his assets. We challenged President Goodluck Jonathan to declare his assets because we know that the epitome of corruption lies in the presidency. Now, if you also remember very well that Mr. President calls people from his part of the country his own people, forgetting the fact that, and he also through his spokespeople, saying that politics is not game of number. Well, Mr. President threatening that there will be military takeover in this country. Mr. President saying that whatever numbers are giving, they will not accept. I told you, I was chairman House Committee on Population, and to be fair to former President Obasanjo, who was the president at that time, I was the chairman. When he called us for a meeting with the National Population Commission, he said that, look, I do not want to be the first person to know the result of the elections in this, the census, the population census in this country, which means there was no interference from Mr. President of that time, nothing, and the results came out. We know his own people, that's President Jonathan Goodluck. We know as at today, and he's the president of this country as at today, the exact population of his people, because he does not consider us, all of us, as his people. And we call on Mr. President to immediately disassociate himself with these drums of war, his people saying that let they dare anybody to arrest them. This address is directed at him because we know, everybody knows, that it is only the president of a country that can say nobody can arrest me. And of course nobody can arrest the president. As of today, nobody from his part of the country has been invited to answer questions, at least about military takeover. We as politicians and as Nigerians don't want military takeover. But I'm assuring Mr. President that, yes, we are planning takeover, not through the guns, through elections, proper elections, and by the grace of God, President Jonathan Goodluck will be the last president that will treat Nigerians the way he is treating us, because there will be elections, by the grace of God. We shall vote him out, Nigerians shall vote him out, and that will be the end of the terror we are in this country now. And you remember very well, Mr. President said to all of us that there are terrorists in his government. He said so. This is the president who said these kind of things. And we are condoning it, yes, because we believe he's still the president of this country. And I assure him and his own people, because he does not consider us as his people, Fulani man, he has threatened to ethnically cleansing me, to take me out of this country. But as of today, he is my president. And I believe he is my president as of now. But I also want him and his people to know that if Mr. President decides to divide the country today, we will be glad. The people he wants ethnically cleansing. And I also want to draw his attention that, look, if you say Fulani, you're not talking to just a Fulani. You're talking to Igbos, to Yorubas, to Ijos, to everybody. We are all Nigerians. Mr. President should know that as of today, we are all Nigerians. And he has a responsibility to treat us as Nigerians. Thank you very much. So if there's any question, that we can.
So I believe you must have read the response of published yesterday in this day, where he tried to explain Asari Dokubo as somebody we all know that is a rabble around that region, that he was not cited instances we made. He listed some instances where, and I believe your name too.
He started by saying it's their turn. He said that whether we like it or not, President Jonathan Goodluck has already won the primaries of PDP, has already won the election. And I'm telling you that with the way things are going now, elections shall be free and fair. Shall be free and fair. And if there are elections free and fair, with the comments of people from that part of the country, we want them to say whatever we said against them. And God knows, I told you my antecedents. I also make bold to say that I am the only Nigerian politician or elected person who went through referendum to be recalled from the National Assembly because of my stance against third term of President Obasanjo. And I told you I went to court. The judgment is here. For Goodluck Jonathan, I have never met him in my life. All for this country. Edwin Clark has not done anything to unite this country the way I, Honorable FAROUK Adamu Aliyu, have done. So, to me, Edwin Clark and President Goodluck are one and the same. And Ijos cannot be said to be Nigerian. I mean, what I'm saying, they are only Nigerians. You, probably Yoruba man, I, a Fulani man, Nupe, and all of us. We are all Nigerians. I mean, we don't want this sentiment of where I come from, because I'm telling you, I have been in government. When politicians are going to steal money, they don't talk about where you come from. They don't talk about your religion. Politicians, the elite in the south and the north, sit together and steal us dry. So let's understand that, look, President Jonathan Goodluck should be sanctioned by us, Nigerians, by trying to divide this country. And all those people speaking on his behalf, if he cannot come out boldly to say, look, I cannot be president of Nigeria with only votes from Ijos. Thank you. I'm invited to SSS several times to explain certain things. But here we are today, as of today, nobody has threatened the existence of this country like the president himself. Nobody has done that. Nobody has said, my people, referring to them as Ijos. I, a Fulani man, who got 419,000 votes from my people, from Fulani people in Jigawa State. He does not think that Jigawa people are his people. I mean, somebody who says that, look, my people cannot plant a bomb, and his people came and said, we planted the bomb. Today, one of them is in jail in South Africa. Everything revolves around him. And he's the president, and he's the greatest beneficiary of all these things. I mean, he is guarded by us, our money and everything, and so on. And I put it to Mr. President as well. corruption starts and finishes in the villa. I have been in National Assembly and I know what it means.
Right, sir.
Thank you.
Good morning. My borders on the high level of insecurity in the country today, which is eventually affecting everybody. I thought you would have dwelled with what is the way out. The thought, as you said, your party